Oh, get excited, everybody. It is opening day, and that means our friend and former Padres announcer, Mr. Bob Chandler, the legend, is here to talk about the new season. Welcome back, Bob. Happy opening day. This is like a holiday.
It should be a holiday.
Where are we on this thing?
Should be a national holiday.
We've been trying for years now. We're trying. We need to have a bill passed. We need to do something to make this a national holiday.
Yeah. Now you're the guy you have an audience now. You're the spokesperson. You've got to take over.
We will make that a priority for next season, perhaps. Talk to me about the team. Lots of changes, but a lot of things staying the same. How do you see this 2026 edition of the San Diego Padres?
Nobody can be pessimistic on opening day. Come on. Well, look at it this way. Last year, the Padres finished 3 games behind the LA Dodgers, who won their second consecutive World Series. And actually, earlier in the month in September, they actually moved ahead of the Dodgers for a day or two, right? Yeah. So since last season, the Dodgers have had a terrific relief pitcher and one of the best hitters in the game, right fielder Kyle Tucker. But the Padres, you know, I look at this Padre team to start the season and think about last year. Last year we had 2 catchers who were veterans, close to 40. Yep. They could catch all right, but they couldn't hit. Yep. Our left fielder didn't hit. Yep. Our designated hitter didn't hit much. This year I look at that lineup, and there's not an easy out in the whole lineup. This is a better offensive team.
I was going to ask you, the offense looked like it has the potential to be better than it was last year.
I think so.
Yes. Nick Castellanos, a big addition, I think, from the Phillies.
Well, it may have cost the Padres the series against the Cubs because the left fielder, Raul Laureano, got hurt and wasn't available, and so we were too left-handed. And that meant we were, susceptible to left-handed pitching, and the Cubs took advantage of that. There weren't many runs scored in that series. The Padres only scored 5 runs in 3 games, but the Cubs only scored 6.
That's true.
1 run difference.
That's baseball.
In 3 games. And maybe Laureano could have made the difference.
Talk to me about Randy Vasquez. He's, I think, our number 3 starter, right? He's improved. Are you looking forward to seeing good things out of Randy this year?
Yeah, my gosh. I mean, I thought he did a decent job last year. And so he was our number 4 guy, but since Joe Musgrove is out to start the year, he kind of moves up to number 3. But Raul, he was a guy who threw like 93 miles an hour. That was maybe hit 94 as his best fastball. This spring, for whatever reason, whether he's in better shape or not, I don't know, but he's throwing 97.
Ooh, we got it.
That puts him in a whole different stratosphere, believe me.
Yeah. And with that movement, that's good stuff right there.
That's good, yeah.
It's like this, you make little tweaks into your throw and the rotation, and that gives you the extra 2-3 miles an hour. And what a difference that makes.
Well, it's, the hitter just has a split second. Think about it. Yeah. From the time that pitcher, he's only 60 feet 6 inches away, and by the time he lets it go, you have to make a decision whether or not to swing and where to swing, if it's going to be a breaking ball or whatever.
It's like they say.
In such a split second. So the harder the ball comes, the faster it comes, the more difficult it is to time it.
It's like they always say, the hardest thing to do in sports, hitting a round object with a round oh, my God. Let's talk about the bullpen. We still have one of the best in baseball. That could also, of course, help in the postseason. But, it's opening day. Let's not talk postseason. Let's talk Mason Miller and that team of bullpen pitchers. Mason's, I don't know what this kid has in that arm.
Well, I don't either, but whatever he has, his best fastball, I think last year was 104.1.
What in the world?
104.1. He was the #1 closer for the U.S. team in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes.
Did great. But you know what? He's one of maybe 5 guys in the bullpen that can throw 100 miles an hour. Wow. I don't ever remember a bullpen in baseball that had 5 guys that could hit 100.
If you could throw
that now.
There was a time when you could throw 100, you were a freak.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like all the cool kids are doing it.
Well, give me an example. When I started broadcasting for the Padres full-time in 1972,
wow.
I remember the average Major League fastball was 88 miles an hour. 88.
Wow.
Now it's probably 94, 95.
That's incredible.
And anybody who could hit 100. The Atlanta Braves had a relief pitcher who hit 100, and everybody in their dugout went, "Oh, how are we going to hit that? Whoa!" and now we have 5 guys, including Mason Miller, with 104.
Wow.
This is a great bullpen.
So the season officially kicked off last night. You had the Yankees playing in San Francisco against the Giants, and then I remember it was on Netflix. I'm like, whoa, that's different. Major League Baseball's growing, so they made a big show about it with, cabs.
Netflix spent an awful lot of money to promote other Netflix shows, and unfortunately it didn't turn out to be much of a game, 7-0 Yankees.
Yeah.
But it's good for the Padres because one of their opponents in the National League West, the Giants, lost. So they started off with a loss. We're a half game ahead of them going into action today.
Hey, we're in first place. Okay, this is a fun one to talk about. Probably could have talked for an hour about this this ABS challenge system. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I gotta be honest. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I love it. I think it's super entertaining, and I sit here every day now going like, just for fun, here for the news. What are your thoughts?
What jumps out to me, Raul, is how often the batter thinks that pitch is a ball. And he challenges it, and invariably it's a strike. They're right such a small percentage of the time.
Right.
Now the catcher is the one that's in best position.
Yep.
Now they're not always, but more than the hitters. So if I'm Craig Stammen, I say let our catcher call it. No pitcher can call it. You're 60 feet 6 inches away. You can't see. Let the catcher call it.
Brilliant question, because I wanted to ask you, do managers now have meetings with their hitters and it's like, listen, we only have 2 of these challenges. You can't go up there every time tapping your head because you think everything's a ball, and because they only have 2, right? So do they have to tell the hitters, be very, very sure if you're going to challenge? Do they have a green light to challenge, or what do you think is going to happen?
Well, in spring training, it's not that big a deal, right?
Sure.
Whether you're right or wrong.
Right.
So I think they were kind of left on their own to see what happens. But the evidence is in. Don't let the hitter, unless it's a 3-2 pitch and he's called out, and what the heck, you might as well go for it. But think about this, in that series against the Cubs in the last game, remember Xander Bogaerts was called out on a pitch that was clearly low.
That was not a strike.
Would have been ball 4, would have put him on first. And if the same things had happened after that did, the Padres would have tied the game and gone ahead. Who knows? Might have won the Cubs. Might have won the World Series. You never know.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever that was. Bob, are you going to the game today?
Yes.
What are you thinking? We're going to, this Tarek Skubal kid is some kind of pitcher.
Well,
back-to-back Cy Young awards. He's almost, I don't want to say he's unhittable, but he is one heck of a pitcher.
The Tigers have Skubal. You knew you were going to face him on opening day.
Of course.
And then they signed Framber Valdez, who was one of the top free agents available. Yeah. So that's who you're going to see tomorrow. So you're facing 2 of the best pitchers in baseball to start the season. Now we have Nick Pivetta, and I assume Michael
King's pitching Friday.
So we're competitive with them.
Okay. We're going to test that theory that the offense this year is better, because they're getting tested right. Trial by fire.
But do remember this.
Yes,
good pitching stops good hitting.
Always
has.
That's exactly what I told my boy. By the way, my boy last night had a game. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, struck out 6 of the 7 batters he faced. He's a lefty.
What happened to the 7th guy?
Popped up.
Oh, okay.
Easy pop-up. Allowed nobody on base. Bob Chandler, it is always a pleasure talking with you, sir.
Hey, I love it when I come in because I know baseball's beginning.
It's so good. It's like it feels like a rebirth. We're starting a new season. It's fantastic. Bob, thank you.
My pleasure.
Let's go.